Meeting in progress ke? Meeting in progress.
Research. Macam dah gaduh kali.
Doktor,
Ya.
tanya, kalau macam kami pakai Dr. Sarah sebagai supervisor, dia bidang marketing. Jadi kami punya topik pun kena marketing lah.
Kamarul. Rasanya awak buka. Awak ada buka dekat sana kan? Webex.
Tutup
Cuba mute. Okey.
Assalamualaikum. Dr. Siti Zaliha ada? Dr. Wahida ada?
Ada Dr. Firdaus,
Ya, Dr.
Herwina,
Herwina. Dr. Herwina belum masuk
belum. But I think Dr. Firdaus is 9 o'clock. We can start, and
Okay,
after that,
sure.
Dr. Herwina will continue with ethics application, research ethics.
Okay, sure. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Innal hamdalillah nahmadu wa nasta'inu wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlil falan tajida lahu waliyan mursyida. Allahumma shalli ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsanin ila yaumiddin. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Amma ba'd. Ya, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Ya. Welcome back, all student MBA and MIBF students to Abp Requirements Business School. So inshallah, so at the beginning of the semester, I do believe majority of you semester 3 and semester 4 going to enroll your proposal as well as your final research stage, inshallah, for the graduating students. I am Muhammad Firdaus Muhammad Hatta, your MBA MIBF coordinator, and actually I'm not alone today, I'm with my bosses, Associate Professor Dr. Siti Zaliha Sahab, Deputy Dean Academic, as well as Head of Postgraduate Studies, Associate Professor Dr. Wahida Ahmad, and also with us today, Acting Deputy Dean Research and Student Development, Dr. Herwina Rosnan. So inshallah today we're going to have, as far as I'm concerned, 3 sessions. First session, I'm going to brief you up to certain stage lah, all related to ABP 791, 792, IFE 765, and IFE 781, and then followed by ethics briefing. Inshallah will be given by Dr. Herwina Rosnan, and then for the third session, MBA and MIBF student will be separated into 2 different slots. MBA student with Dr. Siti Zaliha, and MIBF student will be with Dr. Wahida Ahmad, inshallah. Okay. First of all, before we begin our session today, to get blessing from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, let's recite Surah Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Okay. Okay, let me share my slide. Okay, boleh nampak tak?
Okay, Dr. Firdaus.
Okay, okay, baik. Thank you.
Sorry, we can
Yes.
see there's another screen. We rearrange video in this stage. Some animation, rearrange video in the stage.
Where is it, Hasliza? Sorry, not very clear.
It's okay. We can see your screen. Thank you.
Right, okay.
Okay, so research project briefing. Yeah, so inshallah, yeah, today is October 15. Yeah, we shall go through. I try my best lah, yeah, to make sure our briefing as short as possible. Inshallah. Yeah. Okay. First of all, let me touch on proposal stage. Yeah. So for MBA student, those who enroll ABP 791, as well as MIBF students, IFE 765. Okay, for your information, yeah, a student, yeah, from MBA and MIBF, so you have to identify lah your group members. Yeah, for ABP 791, the maximum allowed for you to be in one group is 3 members. Yeah, and minimum is 2 members. Yeah. And then for the MIBF student, you don't have any option. Yeah, so you have to work in pair. Yeah, 2 students per group. Yeah, and then please work in a group to find your interesting topic area. Yeah, and as well as please identify your potential supervisor. So this supervisor, you're going to submit, yeah, form A, and you fill in the form, yeah, your particulars, your ID, student ID, yeah, your contact numbers, and so on and so forth, as well as your potential supervisor. So we at the academic office going to finalize, yeah, the supervisor, yeah, whether the same supervisor that you proposed earlier or not, and we let you know lah. We let you know, and as soon as, yeah, the appointed supervisor announced to the students, so please work closely with them. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that is in terms of the proposal stage. So for the final report stage, yeah, ABP 792 and RFE 781, yeah, and for sure lah, yeah. In the following semester, you have to continue to work closely with your team members as well as your supervisor. Meet your supervisor, yeah, as often as possible, yeah. So and then you also, yeah, have to submit your final project report to academic office. So you may refer to the info pack and guideline that already posted in the AAGBS website. So info pack, I'll let you know later. Yeah, and then you are also required to attend your viva voce. Yeah, meaning to say you have to present your work, yeah, at the end of this semester, and the schedule of your presentation, yeah, will be announced later. So in case once you presented, yeah, you receive comment from examiners, yeah, so please make sure you fulfill all the comment that or amendments, correction requested by the examiners. Again, at the end, yeah, you have to submit the final corrected report, yeah, on time, yeah, as stated in the timetable, inshallah. So that is the general idea lah, yeah. The all the requirement that should be fulfilled by proposal stage student as well as final report stage student. Okay. Okay. Then let me share with you the info pack. Yeah. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes, can see it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, this one, yeah, the info pack for the those who enroll proposal. Yeah. Let me begin with ABP791 because there is a little bit different from IFE 765. Yeah. Okay. 2022 for MBA, yeah, AA 700 full time, yeah, evening track as well as executive mode, yeah, AA 701. Yeah, so this is the timeline or schedule that you have to refer to. Yeah. Okay. Number one. Yeah. Today. Yeah. Is a briefing session. Yeah. October 15, Saturday. Yeah. Week 1, and I hope that all of you already registered your courses. Yeah. And then on 11/2, you have to submit Form A, yeah, and UITM Academic Integrity Pledge to AAGBS Academic Office by email. So the email address is this one lah, yeah. So the email address is actually different from MIBF proposal stage, yeah. So please make sure use the email address that been suggested for you, yeah. ABP791 AAGBS.mbe@gmail.com. Yeah. Okay. So Form A you may download from AGBS website. Yeah. From A, from B, from C, from D, from E. Yeah. Everything posted on the AGBS website already, as well as UITM Academic Integrity Pledge. Yeah. So please fill in all the particulars, yeah, and submit to the academic office, yeah, by email, yeah, by 2nd November 2022. Okay, actually, let me show the Form A lah, yeah, Form A. Okay, this is Form A, yeah. So it applies for ABP as well as IFE as well, yeah. ABP 791, IFE 765. So proposition of topic and advisor, cadangan topik dan penyelia. Yeah? In case you are MBA student, please stick over here, or you are IFE student, please stick over here lah. Yeah? And then fill in your name, student ID, yeah, email address, yeah, suggested topic, as well as your potential advisor lah. Yeah? And but this suggested advisor not going to be your final advisor. So we at AAGBS Academic Office going to finalize your advisor. Yeah. So this is the Form A that you have to submit by email, and please attach the apa ni integrity pledge form as well. Yeah. So this one is UITM Academic Integrity Pledge. Yeah. So you have to read through, yeah, all the requirement over here, and yeah, fill in all the particulars. Yeah? Okay. Okay, that is in terms of the Form A and Integrity Pledge form. Okay, next, number 3. So the identification and approval of advisor by REC. So we, as committee at the academic office, yeah, we're going to finalize, yeah, your application. Yeah. So academic office will disseminate the approved list of appointed advisors to students. So as soon as we finalize, you're going to receive, yeah, apa ni, all the information related to the proposal stage, and then as soon as you know your supervisor or advisor, so you have to contact them and keep in touch with them frequently. Yeah.
Dr.
So,
Firdaus, your
yeah.
screen is still at Academic Integrity Pledge.
Alright, ya ke? Okay, kena stop sekejap lah. Thank you, Dr. Wahida. Okay, apa dah masuk ke? Ke info pack?
Yes, now okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, yes, okay. So as I mentioned earlier lah, yeah. So by November 16, yeah. So you all students going to receive, yeah, the approved advisors. Yeah, as soon as you know your supervisors, please keep in touch with them and work with them closely. Yeah, and then number 4, yeah, topic and advisor confirmation. So as soon as you have discussed with your supervisor, yeah, and then all of you are in consensus with regards to a particular topic, for instance, yeah, and then you have to resubmit Form A again, yeah, soft copy, yeah, with your advisor's endorsement to AAGBS academic office, yeah, by email. So this is the reason, because probably the earlier topic different from what been agreed between you and your supervisor. Yeah. So the resubmission of the Form A, yeah, by December 7, Wednesday. Okay, and then number 5. So this one, last date of research proposal submission, yeah, in Word and PDF document, yeah, for grading. So supposed to be sent by or submitted by student lah by email, yeah, to your advisor as well as to academic office. Yeah, so the email link, email address, yeah, already given over here. Yeah, and it is different from MIBF student. And over here, marks will be given based on the submitted report. Yeah, so you may refer to the submission guideline. So the guideline already posted on AAGBS website. You may download from there how to name or rename your document. Yeah. Okay. And finally, yeah, submission of proposal evaluation form and grade to AAGBS academic office by advisor. Okay, this one your advisors lah. Yeah, by 3rd of February, so they have to submit, yeah, the evaluation form as well as grade to the academic office. Okay, that is for MBA student, yeah, those who enroll proposal, yeah, ABP 791. So now we are moving into MIBF proposal stage, yeah. Okay, AA 706, yeah, full-time as well as part-time students, yeah. So the reason I split into two, because there is a little bit different, yeah, between MBA and MIBF. So so today, yeah, is our briefing session, yeah, October 15, and then same thing, yeah, goes to MIBF student. You have to submit Form A as well as UITM Academic Integrity Pledge, yeah, by 2nd November on Wednesday, yeah, and then so we at the academic office, yeah, going to finalize, yeah, every single thing that related to the proposal stage, and we let you know, yeah, your appointed advisors, yeah, inshallah by 16th of November. 2022. And for sure lah, yeah, you have to work with them very closely and meet them frequently. Yeah, and then once you and your supervisor agree on a particular topic, you have to resubmit Form A, as well as with advisor's endorsement, via email. So the email is little bit different. So this one AAGBS.mibf@gmail.com. Don't mix up. MBA, MIBF, MIBF. By December 7. Okay, and then you have to submit. So the deadline to submit the research proposal is on January 18. So it is supposed to be in Word and PDF document for grading. You submit to your advisor as well as your class lecturer. So this one is actually different from MBA. So student, they have to submit to the advisor as well as to class lecturer. In case you enroll IFE 765, so please submit to them as well as to the academic office. So mark will be given based on the submitted report. You also have to refer to the submission guideline on January 18. Okay. For MIBF students, so they have to go through the presentation session. So the presentation session will be in week 14. Week 14. So I put asterisk over here. So the presentation dates will be announced later. But it's going to be held in week 14. Week 14. And finally, so your advisors going to submit the evaluation form and grade to the class lecturer by February 3rd of February, Friday. Okay, so that is all about the MIBF proposal stage. Okay, next we move on to full research report, ABP792 and IFE781. So I combine all together lah, and the email address, as what been stated over here, you can see, for the MBA student, AAGBS.MBA, and for MIBF student, AAGBS.MIBF@gmail.com. Okay, so today is our briefing, and number 2, student to submit full report with the following document. So 5 document. Please bear in mind, you have to submit 5 document by email to academic office by January 11. January 11. Week 12. So the document full report. So the full report must be in Word and PDF document, and then Similarity index report. So currently we use original. Supposed to be less than 30% lah. Going to be verified by your advisors. As well as Form C. And then English editing evidence. So you have to get your project edited and proofread, and then as well as you have to submit your ITM academic integrity pledge as well. So this one, in case this one must be submitted individually, individual student. It is not group. Okay, so these are 5 documents you have to submit, and you may download Form C, from the AAGBS website as well. And you have to refer to the submission guideline on how to name your file. So and please bear in mind, failure to submit final report on time, a grade TL or tidak lengkap, yeah, incomplete report, yeah, will be given to the student. Yeah. Okay. And the so you have to submit the full report, yeah, by 11th of January 2023. Yeah. Okay. Number 3, and the academic office going to disseminate the report to advisors as well as appointed examiners. Yeah. And then advisors and examiners are given 2 weeks. Yeah, examiners in particular are given 2 weeks to read and evaluate the report, and your examiners going to identify whether you're going to have major correction or minor correction. Yeah. Okay. So if it is minor correction, so the marks will be given based on the first submission on January 11. But in case it is major correction, yeah, major correction, so the advisors, the examiners, yeah, are to submit the document by email by 22nd January 2023. Yeah, this one for those who have major correction only, and the student to make the necessary changes for presentation based on first round comment. Yeah, so your Viva Voce letter, yeah, based on what you all the changes that we made, yeah, based on the comment requested by the examiners. Yeah. Okay, for the minor correction, yeah, the examiners to submit the document by email before or immediately after Viva Voce. Yeah. Okay. In case you have major correction, yeah. So the last date for student to submit the correction to advisors as well as to examiners is on 27 January, and the marks will be given based on 27. It is not based on 11, based on 27. So in case, yeah, you receive major correction. Yeah. Okay. And then number 5, yeah, you're going to have a final presentation. Yeah. Used to be online presentation. Yeah. But we let you know later lah, yeah, whether it's going to be held online or the physical presentation. Yeah. So I put here asterisk over here. Yeah, so the presentation session, yeah, we will be held in week 15. Yeah, week 15. Okay, next. Advisors and examiners, yeah, to submit Form D, yeah, evaluation form and grade to AAGBS office on 2nd of February. And then for both major and minor correction, student to submit final corrected report and annotated Form D via email to academic office, to advisors, as well as to examiners, if it is applicable. Yeah, on February 10. Okay, last date for student to submit the following document by email to AAGBS academic office for record of submission. So the final report, yeah, annotated Form D endorsed by examiners and advisors, as well as Form E. So Form E you may download from AAGBS office. So please bear in mind, for those who did not submit the endorsed annotated form, yeah, they will be graded DL as well. Yeah, it is on 22nd February. Yeah. So okay, I think that's all. Yeah, in terms of the info pack or the research report schedule. Yeah, those who enroll at the proposal stage, as well as final research report. Yeah. Okay. Dr. Wahida, Dr. Siti,
Dr. Firdaus.
Ya, saya.
If I can add a bit,
Okay, sure.
to the students, perhaps some of the students are from the state campuses of EMBA program. So just to remind the students that please follow the deadline given by your program coordinator, at the states. But basically, this is the process that every branch, including Shah Alam, have to follow. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Doctor. Sure, Nick. Yes. Nick, where can I get this template info? Okay, I will upload on the Telegram group, inshallah. Yeah. Dr. Herwina. Yeah. Are you around? Tak masuk lagi.
I think I saw Dr. Herwina on the line. Probably before we pass to Dr. Herwina, if we can open for Q&A
Okay, sure.
from the student. Okay, if there is any issue or question that you are not clear with, perhaps we have a few more minutes for the Q&A session. Waalaikumsalam.
Has from Pematang UiTM. For that template info pack, just now you mentioned you will send via Telegram since we are from the branches. So can you help to forward to our coordinator?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Doctor,
Najah ada question? Yeah.
Yes, Doctor. I have a question for IFE 765. When we submit the Form A, we need also to submit the integrity pledge, right? So is it the same as the one that we submit in the beginning of the semester or another one? That's my question. Thank you.
Perhaps I can answer that for
Sure.
Najah. It's
Yeah.
the same one that you need to submit to the class. Okay, that is why we will compile Form A as well as the Academic Integrity Pledge for IFE 765 and we will forward it to the office. It's the same one, Najah.
All right. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum, Doctor. I'm Rizalman. I have a question with respect to supervisor. Yeah, the selection for supervisor, right? Will it be based on topics that we choose to do research on, or it will be an open choice lah? Meaning to say, you can just approach any supervisor that we feel we are comfortable with, regardless of the topic.
Okay, thank you for the question. Firstly, right, the reason why you submit your Form A is for you to actually propose what would be the topic and area of your study. Okay, at the same time, you may nominate a supervisor or advisor that you believe in the same field of the topic that you propose. The office will bring every topics and groups into the meeting, which we call Research Advisory Committee, which we will have a look overall. Therefore, to answer your question, first, if possible, as much as possible, we will try to give you the nominated advisor as you propose. However, depending on the availability of the advisor as well, you might not be able to get the nominated supervisor, and therefore we will propose or we will actually appoint another supervisor close to the field or area that you propose. Okay. So it is again, if I can say in short, it depends on the area of your study plus the availability of the advisor that we have around. That is why after we appoint the advisor, you need to meet your supervisor and discuss again if you probably need to amend a little bit of the topic so that it will be suitable for both the student as well as the advisor. Does that answer your question?
Okay, clear, Doctor. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Dr. Hasliza from Pematang Power again. I have another questions regarding the marks. Just now during the presentation mentioned if upon the first submission, if there's a minor, amendments or mistake, there's no marks deduction. However, if there's a major, and it will impact on the marking. So can you help to maybe just elaborate a bit what's the differentiate minor or considered as a major amendments?
Okay, thank you, Hasliza, for the question. Right. Supposedly, we didn't expect any major corrections, supposedly, all right? Because you have given 2 semesters to do your project. But that means, okay, when we say that you need to submit in week 12, that is supposed to be your final report and that will be graded. However, due to some reason, there are few groups who may get major correction from the examiners. Okay? So for this group, they are given another chance to do a correction before we finalize the marks. That is based on the date given by Dr. Firdaus just now. Okay, you will be given a few more days to fix whatever that you need to fix and then resubmit. Then only we will mark based on the report that you resubmit, if you are given a major correction. But if it is a minor, whatever that you submit in week 12 is the one that we will grade you. We means advisor and examiners. So is that clear, Hafizah, is it? Hazliza, right?
Yes, doctor. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum, Dr. Wahida. My name is Nur Rafidin Maswari. I just have some clarifications to be made with regards to the major corrections. What is construed or what is treated as major correction?
Okay, if I can answer in short, yeah. Major correction normally involve your content, especially your data analysis, especially your your main issue, right? That means it has to align whatever objective, whatever topic that you said is the one that you should report in your chapter 4 and chapter 5. Okay, so that means basically it is the content. If it is mechanics, for example, in terms of writing style, in terms of grammatical error, so that will be a minor correction. Okay, but when it's come to you need to rerun your data or maybe you need to recollect your data, that would go for a major correction. So that is basically, if you want to talk about it, it's going to be a very long session. But I guess later on, okay, when we split the group into MBA and MIBF, that might be a good venue as well, okay, to actually go back to that question, how to distinguish between major and minor correction. All right?
Understand. Dr. So can I just say that so basically major correction involves more on the substance rather than the form of the research itself.
Yeah, it's not about the reporting, but it's more on the, like you said, the substance, the content of the report, of the idea of your study.
Yeah, very clear, doctor. Thank you.
Welcome. Any other question? If not, yeah, maybe I just would like to remind, okay, please carefully choose your group member. It is a long-term project. Okay, it's not easier for you. I would say it's supposed to be no changes after you have decided about your group member, unless because of a very rare or certain reason only. Okay, but in fundamentally, once you have decided your group member, you are not allowed to change your group member anymore. So that is why, please, okay, carefully choose your group member. Make sure you have a group member that you can work with. Okay, it is a long-term project and it will actually definitely affect your grading for your proposal as well as for your final report. Okay, is there any more question, or if not, we will probably move on to the next session? No?
Wahida, maybe we can address one of the questions in the chat box about copy of other research. Tengok sekejap, ada soalan satu.
If copy from other research can consider a major correction. Okay, if copy, the copy that you said is referring to plagiarism, that is definitely not just major, It's not just major. It is worse than major correction. It is integrity issue. It is plagiarism. You might be given F. And apart from that, you might be taken into a tata tertib. Okay, so that might leads to dismissal and other whatever penalty that can be given to the student. So if you are referring to plagiarism, that is definitely a no. Okay, so don't think about copying or it's different from replicating. Okay, copying, that means you just take whatever or other people's idea without credits, without giving credits, and that is not just major. Okay, if we can detect, if the examiners detect, they can just submit your name into tata tertib and we will proceed with the next action. Right, so major is about something wrong with your, with your data, supposedly unintentional. Okay, supposedly unintentional mistake or error. Okay, but if you say copy, I would say that is supposed to be, you just copy from someone else or previous research or previous study or previous article. That is definitely a serious offense. Okay, Ruzaini?
Yeah, Ruzaini and Aziz, I also want to add a bit of what Dr. Wahida have highlighted about plagiarism. At the first place, before you submit your proposal as well as your final report, you have to run this similarity index checking. So for now, we are using original.com. This is a software to detect the originality of the work. And it is one of the requirements, as what Dr. Firdaus has mentioned. It has to be less than 30% of the similarity. What does it mean here is that what you quote in your study should not be more than 30%. So that is again to promote integrity of our work. I hope this is clear to all. It is a serious offense, yes, if should plagiarisms occur. Thank you.
Prof, can I ask one question?
Please proceed.
Prof Wahida, my name is Jamil, AAGBS 2BF. With regard to team members, as you mentioned just now, is very crucial for the 2 semesters. Okay, I'm having a few. My topic that I wanted to do is slightly, maybe slightly different because I'm involving technologies, and I already spoken to one of the co-supervisor from another school, which is from College of Engineering. So in this case, let's say if I do cross group bidding from 2BF and 2AF or 2CF, can I work with them? Then, but I never knew them. So there's a big issue because the topic that I wanted to do is a little bit more on the technology, but also how to say that it's more like marketing and rebranding, and it will involve those two things. So either I stick to a normal topic where I can trust my colleague, or either I do something that I wanted to do because nature of my work also is involved in that line. And then work, because the minimum for ABP791 is 2%, right? So I just wanted to have your views on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamil, for the question. All right. Firstly, okay, if necessary, it is okay for you to join with Group B or with Group C. I mean, a mix, if necessary, all right, for some reason. Okay. Second, you said that you have certain topic that you would like to propose, and you're probably not sure if your group member, Okay, the potential group member would agree to that. This is the reason why Dr. Firdaus has given the timeline just now. You have until week 4 to discuss, okay, and to sit down, discuss, and finalize what would be the best for your group. That means your topic that you propose, as well as the other 2 or 1 more members. Okay, so that I think we can't say what to do because we do not know what is the content of your topic that you would like to propose. But via the discussion, I think that would be a good solution that you can find. Okay, so that is my suggestion. You have, I mean, within these 2 weeks, I think is the best time for you to find and to sit down together before you finalize your group member from both sides, you and your group member. If you are talking about the co-advisor for ABP791, 792, we do not have co-advisor, only one advisor from AAGBS or from the business faculty. Okay, the reason is because of it's okay if you want to do from the context of engineering, but the topic must cover business activities. So that is why your advisor must come from business background. Okay, so that is I think basic that you need to know. Okay, but if you want external advice, of course you can discuss with your advisor later. Okay, on that.
Thank
Is
you,
that
Prof.
okay, Jamil?
Yeah, it covers. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Okay, now it's already 9:45. So let's move on. Yeah, we're going to proceed with ethics briefing. Yeah, going to be given by Dr. Hermina Rosnan. Okay, doctor.
All right, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. I hope you can hear me, yeah?
Okay, Dr. Hermina.
Yes, betul. Okay, great. So I'm gonna briefly talk about research ethics here, where you need to apply for this. So I was made to understand student yang dekat sini MBA and MIBF taking
Right. Yeah.
at the proposal stage
As well as final report.
As well as final report. All right. Okay. Welcome. So here we're going to talk about the necessity of actually applying for research ethics application, right? It's going to be short. It's going to be brief. I hope you follow me. Yeah? So this is actually a requirement as much as you are filling up the integrity form, yeah, to do research, yeah, everyone, yeah, it's not only in UiTM, it's not only in Malaysia, it's actually is global practice, yeah. So you have to actually apply for research ethics approval. Why do you need to apply this? The reason being, yeah, this is actually mandatory, wajib, yeah, for all research involving human participants. All right.
Dr. Hermina, sorry to interrupt. Can you enlarge your slide?
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay. So for those taking applied business project and for MIBF, what is it called? Same, yeah, applied business project.
Final research project.
Final research project. Yeah. For those doing their proposal at the end of your semester, once you have done with your proposal, you need to submit for, before you collect data, you need to submit for this approval. All right. And we do not have DBA and PhD today, right? So this is mainly for you. Make sure that before you collect data, yeah, you must submit, you must get the approval. If not, what's the implication? You cannot collect the data because commonly ABP or your final project involving companies, it's a case study most of the time that it is important for you to actually get the consent from the faculty. Yeah, you cannot get that later if you don't have this ethics approval. Yeah, bear that in mind. All right. So, okay. No question on that, yeah? You cannot collect data before you get this approval. So these are the forms that is available in our website, AAGBS website. So it has been simplified into, basically there are 4 forms, but for most of you, the form that you need to fill out are only Form 1 and Form 2. Form 1 is ethics approval application and Form 2 is participant information sheet. I will show you the form after this. And it is not quite common in our faculty for students to apply for this accent form. You have to understand that this form is meant for those who collect data from the minority group, for example, those, the OKU, or those below 18 years of age, all right? And if you happen to have respondents from that category, that would mean your study will involve more than minimal risk. We will talk about risk later on, all right? And for BERC4 is particularly for those who want to apply for exemption from the ethical review. So commonly in our faculty, this is meant for those commonly financed students who collect data that does not involve human, because ethical, like I said earlier, it involves, when your study involves human participant, automatically it is must for you to apply for ethics approval. But if it is not, for example, you are collecting data from secondary data, and these data are actually taken from public domain, anybody have access to it, tak perlukan approval from any organization. And with that, you can actually just fill up this FBERC4 to ask for exemption. So you don't have to seek for REA, Research Ethics Approval. I hope you understand, yeah? Adalah few yang every semester actually can apply for this exemption. But most of you, you have to fill up Form 1 and Form 2. It is available in our website. I hope you're clear on that. All right, so where to get the forms? Here, our website, and the other website is actually meant for PhD mixed mode, not meant for you. So you can go to our website and you can get, you can see the form, just pick up the form and fill it up, all right? There are the things that, commonly students make mistake, we have to make sure that these 2 forms must be filled up, and for Form 2, FBERC 2, you must fill it up in both English and Bahasa, right? And for Form 1, FBERC 1, it must be signed by all the researchers. Kalau researchers tak sign, student tak sign, kita akan return the form. Jadi dia akan melambatkan proses kelulusan. Understand, ya? And you have to make sure your supervisor dah check you punya proposal, right? You need to get the signature from the supervisor as well. Okay, so these are actually the common mistake, since you would see that the form is actually kita dah make it simplified, but that does not mean you can just put brief sangat you punya write up tu, so you have to explain a bit, otherwise your panel examiner nanti, your panel reviewer nanti tak faham you punya study is about what. All right, so glaring grammatical error, that is why we emphasize that. Show it to your supervisor. Supervisor approve baru dia hantar. If not, selalu dia jadi macam ni lah, glaring grammatical error. Alright, the form not signed, this part ni repeatedly we remind students to actually sign the form ni. Kadang-kadang ketua kumpulan tak dapatkan signature from the members. Semua kena sign and it must be endorsed by the supervisor. You tunjuk dekat supervisor which part yang nak kena sign, There are times yang supervisor tak nampak kolom tu. Bawah sekali dalam form 1, bawah sekali adalah supervisor punya signature. And this is the most important thing. We expect you, once you have done with your proposal, dah submitted, dah dapat markah kan? There must be questionnaire dah develop, Questionnaire is meant for those doing quantitative. Kalau you are doing qualitative research, you must attach together your interview guideline, interview protocol, whatever it is called. Alright, mesti ada questionnaire, mesti ada interview questions, ya, list of interview questions attached. Kalau tidak, dia akan dipulangkan balik oleh committee. Alright, and the questionnaire, because kita ni buat study di Malaysia most of you, alright, and respondents, most of it are actually Malaysian, ya, unless lah you punya respondents are actually mak saleh expatriate ke apa, then you don't have to translate, ya. Jadinya this form FBERC2 and questionnaire kena ada translation. You kena hantar dua-dua bahasa. Alright, got it, yeah? Okay, so once you have done all this, you can submit it. Kita ada ke Puan Syahidah, yeah? The details on the submissions, yeah? The email tu ada di dalam website. Alright, and you have to make sure ni kenapa I tulis merah ni. When you fill up the form, make sure you filled up semua tempat kosong. Alright, a form is complete when it is actually semua tempat kosong tu you filled up. Maknanya, if it is not related to you, you tulis not applicable ataupun NA. If they ask you to tick, you need to tick ataupun cross lah, ya, kalau it's not relevant to you. Tapi semua boxes tu you kena letak. Kalau tak, it is considered as incomplete. Understand, ya? So I'm going to show you now. Yeah, the form. Stop sharing and I'm going to show you this. Sorry, I have to scroll it. I hope you can see it, yeah? This is Form 1. This is Form 1. I'm going to give you this. It's just that I do not know how to share the document. Later, I'm going to give you this. You can find the blank template dekat AAGBS website. Or you can actually take this as your reference, yeah?
Dr. Hermina, can you enlarge a little bit?
Oh, cannot see. How about this? How about
Yeah,
this?
okay. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So, in this form, yeah, ada letakkan semua the requirements on how you should fill up. Okay? So, supposedly senanglah for you to follow. Yeah, you put all the necessary information yang in red ni is actually your responsibility to put it up. Yeah, macam faculty ni ada letak siap-siap so you don't have to write it down. Yeah, write the student name, principal saja. If 3 of you letak principal saja. Siapa ketua yang the panel boleh contact. Alright, and name of your supervisor. Ini details as usual lah. Yeah, when I say you have to tick, yeah, semua benda ni kena tick. Yeah. So most of the time you tick no lah because it does not involve premises, yeah. Governed by external bodies, whatever it is. Alright, for research details, yeah, some of you, yeah, you may tick more than one. Yeah, kadang-kadang ada yang buat questionnaire and interview at the same time. Alright, so you tick both. Alright, so background of the study, you can fill it up because everything is actually extracted from your proposal, is it not? Yeah, but write it briefly, tapi jangan pendek sangat sampai orang tak faham, right? So problem statement, yeah, less than 100 words, and references, yeah, merely references that is in the background. Jangan copy paste dalam your proposal semua references yang tidak ada di dalam form ni. Understand, yeah? And you put your research objective, numbering 1, 2, 3, apa research objective, yeah? Your expected benefits, you are the significance of your study dalam your proposal, put it here. All right. Date of commencement. For those yes, semester, for those yang buat proposal tu, the beginning of your research is actually this semester. Alright, for those yang dah final stage, yang dah nak apa ni, yang supposed to collect data this semester, you punya starting date is actually semester lepas. Ya, sampai di semester sampai bila? February. Ya, sampai February. So that is the date of commencement, but the date of data collection you should put, ya, for example, you hantar hari ni hari 15. Yeah. So you should expect that you letakkan date expected of data collection 1 month. Because 1 month tu kita gunakan to process your application. Yeah. Letaklah kat situ 16 of November, for example. Okay. Alright. So, yeah. And this location, you letak specifically location mana that your study apa ni, involved. This is actually where you collect your data. For example, kadang-kadang you study, you collect data from Kelantan, Terengganu, correspondent from that. You tulis kat situ. Be specific as possible. Kalau let's say your study is respondents you comes from tak ada specific area like Klang Valley, so you put there Klang Valley area, for example. So kalau your study is actually about the organization, put the address of the organization. Understand, yeah? If the data collected from the organization, that particular organization, yeah, letakkan the address of the organization. All right. Okay. So research design and methodology, this is very much descriptive, yeah. Tulis dekat sini, yeah. Jangan tulis point form, yeah. We do not want point form, yeah. Sometimes you all rasa macam borang ni nampak macam pendek, so you put it in point form. Don't do that, yeah. Narrative sikit. Alright, so this is inclusion and exclusion criteria, ya, siapa yang involved in your study and criteria apa yang you tak masukkan dalam your study. Most of the time, studies MBA atau MIBF ni does not involve those 18 and below, ya, 18 years of age and below. Alright, so sample size jangan tulis sample size 100, ya. Don't do like that. You have to explain how you derive the sample size. Where do you get this from? From your proposal, research methodology punya part tu, ya. And the calculation of sample size ni kena cerita dah sikit, ya. Apa ni, how do you derive this, ya? Sometimes you are referring to the, for example, Krajci and Morgan table, you still have to explain here, ya, your population siapa and how you derive your sample size. And you put your flowchart here. Kalau tak tahu macam mana flowchart Google, banyak flowchart. Right? Statistical analysis, explain sikit statistical analysis, and your statistical analysis mesti correspond dengan you punya research objective dekat atas. Ya, jangan objektif lain, analysis you lain pula. Ya? And for those yang tidak ada statistical analysis, for example, those doing qualitative research, then you explain how your data will be analyzed. For example, kalau you guna grounded theory analysis ke atau thematic analysis ke, you still have to explain it here. Clear, yeah? Alright. So funding details, if any, if not, put it an A. Don't leave it blank. Okay? And okay, this is important. Yang selalu tertinggal, ya. Students, ya, mesti kena ada you punya details semua dekat sini, dan ya, co-researchers ni members lah. Right? Yang ini semua you have to fill up. Yeah? Kalau don't know lah along the way. Right? But don't leave it blank. Okay? Before you submit, make sure all the members sign, make sure that it is in both language, and you would see dekat sini kan, item ni, in your template dekat, if you get the template from the website, benda ni tak strike. Yeah? This is actually not relevant to you, so you don't have to fill up anything. Item number 1. But item number 2, 3, 4 ni, you have to put it lah, yes ataupun no. Right. So this is the applicant signature, supervisor signature. Without this, nanti office akan return you punya application. Understand, yeah? Right. This one don't fill up, we will fill up. Okay, that is form 1. If you look at form 2, most of you will fill up form 1 and form 2. Form 2 will look like this. All right. Instructions semua I give in break. Yeah. Hopefully tak ada question on that. this is a participant information sheet that you need to actually write in BM and English. Right? So research title sama lah macam dekat form 1 tu, you tulis balik dekat sini. Right? And the research risk, yeah, most of you sebenarnya involve minimal risk, yeah. But if your study, let's say, under circumstances where your study actually involve respondents, those 18 years and below 18 years of age, yeah. So that is actually incur more than minimal risk. If that's the case, if more than minimal risk, your application, we will send it to the next level if your ITM punya research ethics committee. And it is actually will be approved by your ITM research committee, and it will take roughly 2 months. Okay. And once we submit it to REC UITM, bukan REC AAGBS, yeah. Once we submit your application to REC UITM, you have nanti dia punya, you have to deal with them directly. Ya, dia tidak lagi under kita. Nanti dia akan yang nanti mereka REC UITM akan notify you punya application status. Understand, ya? Alright. So confidentiality, ya, you tulis kat sini your contact number and all. Alright. Yang ini leave it blank. Alright. So that is form 1 and form 2 yang most of you sebenarnya kena fill up. Yeah. So what you need to submit for majority of you, form 1, form 2, a questionnaire ataupun interview questions. Yeah. 3 benda tu mesti ada. Alright. So anyway, we will look at form 3. Yeah. Form 3 ni for those yang I cakap tadi tu, kalau respondents you memerlukan approval from guardian ataupun parents, you have to fill up this form. By virtue of filling up this form, your research risk would be more than minimal risk. Meaning that once you fill up this, yeah, commonly kita akan hantar this application to REC UITM. Approval will be given by REC UITM. Alright. Which, yeah, based on our experience, yes, dah berapa semester ni tak pernah lagi lah mereka yang fill up this form. Alright. Tapi could be possible juga kalau your respondents OKU ke apa ke kan, that need orang asli ke, study of orang asli ke, you may require this, yeah. And automatically approval will come from call it REC UITM. I hope you understand this, yeah. And for some of you that may collect data from secondary sources, yeah, and most of the time that we see is actually finance student lah, right, yang menggunakan secondary data from public domain. If your secondary data that you use is actually ada confidentiality where you have to ask permission from certain agencies ataupun from that companies, you still have to fill up form 1 and form 2. You tak boleh dapat exemption. Exemption is meant for secondary data and which data are for public domain. Yeah, boleh free access. Siapa-siapa boleh access. Understand, yeah? Just fill up this data for exemption and you don't need kelulusan daripada the committee. That's all. Right? So I hope all of you are clear. Cumanya macam mana kita nak share this forms with student, ya, especially form 1 and form 2 ni, so that masa student isi dekat sebelah benda ni, so that tak buat silap.
Dr. Herwina, you can share with academic office and we can share with the student.
Alright. Okay, later you get it from the academic office, yeah. So far, that's all. Yeah, I just want to emphasize that for most of you, form 1 and form 2, you have to fill up, attach together the questionnaire ataupun interview question. And when to submit, yeah. For those who have done with your proposal, you should submit now. The office have actually received around 15 applications and insyaAllah supposedly hari Jumaat hari tu ataupun you tak terima approval hari Jumaat, probably Monday depan for those yang dah apply. Yang belum apply, I hope you applied it now because by December we don't accept any application anymore. Yeah, reason being because it takes 1 month, yeah, for you to get the approval. Nanti kan bila masa pula you nak collect data, yeah, it doesn't make sense sebab you tak boleh collect data kalau you tidak ada this approval. Alright, macam mana nak collect data, because you have to actually dapat permission from company kan. Company commonly akan minta surat from the faculty. So surat kepada company kalau tidak ada ethics approval letter ni. Alright, understand ya? So comes December, we don't accept any more application from MBA student. Ya, ini tak apply kepada PhD ya. Sebab you would see di dalam kalender dalam AAGBS tu setiap bulan kita ada meeting kelulusan. Yeah, but that is actually meant for PhD as well. But for you, the last date we could give you is actually end of November ni. Yeah. Selepas tu kita tak proses lagi because it does not make sense that you will collect data in January. Alright, sebab you dah kena submit dah report kan. Alright, so that's the case. Understand ya? So after this, sebab semua dah ada, I hope everyone hantar semua. Hantar immediately hantar your application. InsyaAllah we try to expedite the process. That's all lah. Sebab the implication nanti pun without the ethics approval letter from the faculty, nanti you tak boleh hantar you punya project paper ni. Faham ya? Question? Yeah. I think this is kind of clear cut kan? I hope everyone understand. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Herwina. So we
Yeah.
still have 4 minutes. So in case there is any question from students.
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Herwina.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, I just want to ask about I noticed there is one part, I think risk in the BERC2, I think, that we have to specify if there is any risk, if any. Is it mandatory for us to put something there or we can just put nil?
No, you, most of you, like I said, if your research does not involve the minority group, yeah, minority group including OKU, orang asli, or those who need to seek permission, your respondent are those who need to seek permission from guardian, your risks are minimal risk. You put it there minimal risk because most of you minimal risk. If it is not and you are not sure, nanti the reviewer akan decide whether it is really a minimal risk atau tidak. Tapi you have to put minimal risk. Put a reason. Yeah, most of the reason is actually because your respondent sebenarnya bukanlah dalam kategori that minority tu, golongan sensitif tu, right? Understand ya? But you tak boleh letak NA.
Okay,
Yeah, put it
just
minimal.
put minimal risk, then just put
Yeah.
justification there lah.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you, Doctor.
Fast, okay? Alright. Okay? Alright. Thank you so much. Ada lagi?
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Herwina. Hasniza here. Question. Do we need to attach as well some of the questionnaires?
You need to attach your questionnaires, not some. The
Yeah,
question.
I mean the questionnaires. Do we need to attach as well when we submit all the 5 forms?
Yes. Yes, you do. You must. Bukan you must attach. Kalau tidak, tak proses. Most of you will submit. Most of you yang submit form 1, form 2, you need to submit questionnaire. If it is qualitative research, you need to submit interview questions. Understand, yeah?
Okay,
Okay?
Doctor, thank you.
Okay. Because we expect those yang dah siap proposal, dah submit, dah dapat markah, mestilah dah siap semua kan proposal tu kan? Mesti dah ada questionnaire. Macam mana dapat markah tu tak ada questionnaire tu. Ya? Yeah? Jadinya submit sekali. Maknanya there are 3 things you need to submit. Most of you ya, yang bukan minta exemption. Form 1, Form 2, questionnaire atau interview question. Clear ya? Alright. Get permission from supervisor, itu yang penting. Ya, mesti endorse, sign by the supervisor. Okay? Alright? Because the implication bukan apa. Kalau you fill up incomplete, nanti return balik dekat you. Application banyak kan? Nanti through email, you tak perasan email apa pun, nanti makan masa. Nanti terlambat nak collect data. Alright? Boleh? Thank you, Hasliza, for the question. Anything else? Thank you so much, organizer. Tak ada question lagi dah. I hope everything is clear. Hantar right away. Sabtu, Ahad ni buat, Monday hantar. Tak susah pun. Okay. All the best to all of you. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Thank you, Dr. Arwina.
Thank you, Dr. Arwina.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Baik, alhamdulillah ya. So we completed already the first two sessions. So inshallah next we move on to session 3. So the session 3 we're going to split MIBF student and MBA student. For MBA student, please stay with us, and for MIBF student, so you will be with Dr. Wahida in a separate session. So I posted the link already in the chat box. So MIBF student only. This link is only for MIBF students with Dr. Wahida. And for MBA student, please stay with us. Okay. Thank you. Dr. Siti, boleh kita proceed?
Yeah, okay. I can see here the number of participants that exit the meeting. They are supposed to be the MIBF students. So maybe kita bagi masa sekejap lah, a few seconds perhaps. Okay, Dr. Firdaus, maybe we can start now.
Sure.
Alright,
Go ahead,
okay.
Siti. Yeah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum to all MBA students, not both actually, 3 modes here. We have full-time, evening track, as well as MBA students or executive mode. And also to the supervisors or the lecturers who are able to join us this morning. So thank you very much for your attendance. Now I'm going to proceed to our next session that is about the ABP project, a discussions, a briefing on what is ABP project, what is expected from you as the researcher. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and please let me know if it is not in order. Okay. Okay, nampak?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, good. I try to use this one. Okay. Okay, let's start. First of all, just a very quick briefing. My name is Dr. Siti Zaleha Sahak. You can call me Dr. Siti. I'm currently is the Deputy Dean of Academic at AAGBS, and also would like to take this opportunity to express our thanks the academic unit thanks to Professor Dr. Rusmi Maruslin and Professor Dr. Nuraini Sharif, who are the one that help us to prepare the content of this PowerPoint slide. So you are now with me for this MBA Applied Business project briefing. I would first go to the go to the next slide. Okay, all right, it's quite late. So basically, this is the contents of the briefing, and I would suggest that let me go for that briefing first. Then after that, we go for Q&A session. Should you have any questions? So the first one is wait a minute, dia ada ni sikit kat sini. Okay, so first is to go for the introduction to applied research as well as basic research. I think this is the important thing to all of us as the researcher to have some knowledge on that and to be able to differentiate between what is basic research and what is applied research. So bear in mind the course code that you are taking or the project that you're going to produce is the so-called as applied business project or applied business research. So we have two types of research, basic research and applied research. Basic research is basically the aim or the objective of the research is to generate specific knowledge for future use. It's very much about contributions to the existing body of knowledge. But if we look at the applied research, it is undertaken or conducted to solve existing problems. Problems of whom? Problems that are faced by the organization. So I will give you more detail about what does it mean by organizational setting. So you are at this stage the so-called as applied research. But again, as a researcher, you also have to know what is basic research, because part of the contents of basic research is also applied research is also consists of basic research, in particular if we talk about the literature section. Okay, so this is the applied business research project. We have two codes or two phases. One is ABP791 and ABP792. So one is the proposal stage, another one is the so-called as the final report. And what is applied business research? This research is done with the intention of, the keyword here is applying the results of finding to solve the specific problem faced or experienced by the selected organization. So what you need to do is to find, in the first place, you must decide which organization or which company that you want to focus on for your project. So that is the first thing need to be done. Now, this ABP phases, Dr. Firdaus has already shared with all of you. I just re-highlight the important things here. If you can see, research proposal ABP791. It is a prerequisite to 792. Meaning to say, if you are not pass 791, you cannot go or proceed to 792. You must lulus or pass ABP 791. All right, so that is what it means by prerequisite. And the students are not allowed to take both codes at one semester. So indirectly, if let's say the students fail 791, that is the proposal stage, automatically you will have to extend one more semester to complete the project, because again, ABP 791 is the prerequisite to 792. So do your very best to ensure that things are all in order. All right? And also in terms of the assessment, the assessor, the evaluator, yeah, for your research proposal is your supervisor. So 100% of the marks is given or will be assigned. Yeah? I mean, it is under the supervisor. However, for your final project, you are, I mean, the work will be assessed by 3 persons, your supervisor, examiner 1, and examiner 2. So for now, you don't know yet who are your examiner 1 and 2. This will be assigned by the school or by the office to you when you, before you go for your viva, the presentation of the final report. Here are some of the ABP requirements. Yeah, also I'm actually re-highlight what Dr. Firdaus, yeah, what I'm sharing here have been mentioned by Dr. Firdaus. Maybe you can have a look into that first, then I will highlight the important things. Okay, so point number 1, number 2, Dr. Firdaus has already mentioned. Dr. Herwina already shared with all of us about the research ethics approval or research ethics application. And take note, this must be done prior to data collection and fieldwork. Proofreading evidence, yeah, that is also a requirement. I would like to share with you here in terms of the reporting or preparation of the proposal and the final report. For ABP 792, and this is the final stage. The requirement based on the current MQA program standards of business studies 2021 is minimum total work is 15,000, yeah, 15,000. This is for the final project. Now, for the proposal, there is no recommended or minimum total words here. There is no minimum total word. However, we recommend that you produce at least between 8,000 to 10,000 for your proposal. Why? Because proposal is actually contains the first 3 chapters of your final project. If you look at 792, minimum total word is 15,000. And basically, you will produce 5 chapters. So if you divide this 15 to 5 chapters, one chapter is about 3,000 words. So if you convert that to proposal, chapter 1, 2, and 3, at least you have minimum, I would say, recommended, yeah, 8,000, yeah, 8,000 to 10,000. So when you move to the second stage, you already settled that 3 chapters, and what you need to do here is to analyze, yeah, of course, collect the data, analyze, and come to the recommendations as well as conclusion. That will help you to finish another 2 chapters, which at the end, the total, yeah, minimum word should be minimum 15,000 words. Okay, I hope that is clear to all of you. Next, I would like to move to this ABP context. Yeah, to start with, actually, to me, it will be good, yeah, for you to put yourself as the so-called as research consultant, yeah, as the research consultant. So imagine that you are, yeah, you run one research consultant and you have your client, and what is your task here? So if you look carefully, it will start from, of course, yeah, you are here as the research consultant. This is the industry, and the industry players are the companies. What you need to do is to find the company, of course, first the sector or the industry that you are interested in, and what is the specific company that you want to focus on. Now, when you already decided in terms of the company that you want to focus on, now start look at what are the current problem or issue that they face. There will be lots of, I would say, a number of problems or issues or challenges that the company face. You are not going to solve all problems just by doing or conducting one research. It has to be specific. So what is your interest at the same time? Are you more on marketing, for instance? Are you more on, your interest is more on human resource, or something about accounting, or something about operation management? Be specific here. What do you want to study? If let's say it's something about marketing, for instance, of course it's very broad, but you will find when you start talking to the company, what are the problems in terms of, or the challenges in terms of marketing that they face. So from there, you will skip on, yeah? You will start doing some analysis, including your reading about the industry, to form what is the problem statement that you want to solve. Yeah, what is the problem that you, at the first place, you identify the problem and you want to find a solution for that particular problem. So if you look at this, you see this research consultant and the company or the industry, of course, you have to work closely with them. And when you can conduct the study, you will collect the data, whether this is the qualitative or quantitative data. Why do you collect the data? It's actually to help you to find, yeah, the answer to the issue or problem that is faced by the company. So what? Yeah, you analyze the data, you giving a meaning to the data that you have analyzed, and that is aimed to help you find what are the possible solution to the problems or issues that the company face. So this is where you're going to come up with the so-called as recommendation. So recommendation will belong to your chapter, the final chapter, that is chapter number 5. Yeah, chapter number 5. So one of the sub-topics, yeah, or section in chapter 5 is recommendation. So this is where you're going to address what are the proposed possible recommendation to the organization or to the company. So it will goes back here to the industry. All right. So that's basically how it works, yeah, for the applied business research project. Okay. You may have a question after this, yeah. So please, yeah, feel free to ask the question. Now I would like to move to the so-called as the link between one course, the so-called as business research methodology, BRM701, and the applied business project, ABP791 and 792. Now, the reason why we put this, the course here on RM, our research methodology, in the structure of the program, that is to help you to gain knowledge about what is business research methodology. So it will set as the foundation to get you prepared to work or to act as the research consultant. So from this 701, yeah, you will learn about what is research, how to conduct the research, why research is important, and so on. So from here, then you will see it depends on your mood of study. Like MBA students, yeah, semester 3, you have this BRM 701. At the same time, you have 792. Yeah, the purpose here again to help you carry out or prepare the proposal. Also for full-time students, that would be offered, yeah, 701 in semester 2. So dia berjalan serentak, yeah, with 791. When you finish this 791, then only you go to the 792. Now, my suggestion here is that it will be good if you work on a project for BRM 701, and that project is actually your ABP 791 project. So it's like 2-in-1. You have here your lecturer of BRM, and here you have your supervisor as the advisor, yeah, as the advisor. So you have 2 persons that help you to strengthen the research and to help you or guide you to where you're heading to. So tadi ada soalannya in terms of grouping, whether you want to join in as a group and so on. Well, it's all up to you, but ideally, this is what we would like to suggest to you, to work on the BRM 701, and that is also the so-called as your proposal. But of course, you have to align, what are the, taken into consideration the feedbacks which are given by your supervisor, at the same time by your research methodology lecturer. Everyone is actually working closely to help you to complete your project. Okay. So this is basically the research process. I don't go very detailed of it because I'm sure you learn or will be learning this from your BRM 701, the research methodology class. But however, just to give you some idea about what is research, especially to those that will be taking ABP 791 this semester, that is your proposal stage. This is basically what research is all about. It doesn't matter whether this is something about, again, we're talking about the discipline or field of study, whether this is the human resource study, this is the operation management research and so on. But basically, this is how the research will be or should be carried out. First of all, of course, we need to recognize the needs for research. If there is no needs for that, for us to conduct the research, then a question would be, why should you want to carry out that research if there is no needs for such thing? So you need to find what are, or to define clearly the problem statement and what are the objective or the purpose of your research. From here, then only you would be able to develop the research plan, including the literature, what literature that you want to find out, and also the framework that you have to produce. After that, you will be collecting data based on what you have planned. Collect data once you get the approval from the ethics, research ethics committee. The data already there, then only you move to the next process, analyze the data, and you already now should have the findings of your, if let's say it's survey, so the survey finding. If it is interview, then you have the answer to the interview questions that you have. And finally, you need to prepare the report and communicate the findings. In this case, what you're going to do is to go for your Viva session. That is about communication. So communication here is actually referring to both the so-called as verbal as well as the verbal is oral communication and the written communication. So both are important. Both are very important. So you have to have try your very best to produce the high quality of a research project or research report, and defend it well during your Viva session. So this is the introduction. The introduction, very much what I can say here is the so-called as your chapter 1, the chapter 1. So you may want to have a look at what you should have here. Okay, just have a look first. Okay, sorry. This is the introduction. Remember, we are talking about the industry and the company. So this is how you're going to start first, to give the background of the industry and the company. So when we talk about giving the background of the industry and the company, it's not just like direct data or hard data, we call it. It's just like when the company was established, what are the nature of business, and so on. But you go more narrative in terms of, because you choose the company because of what? You need to talk more about the company in a different angle or perspective. So it's not just like one-way communication. And you start lead that to what are the issues and problems that you want to investigate. And after that, you have to have written the research objective, research questions, why this study important. Scope of the study here is referring to the example. Maybe you choose one company, but your respondents are the supplier, the materials, product supplier to this particular company. So you need to address that your participants are the supplier of or vendor, to this particular company. And of course, you need to have these definitions of terms. Literature section, all right. So this literature section is something which is challenging in the sense that you have to analyze, you have to analyze the study, the previous studies that you choose to support your study. So it's not just about copy and paste or summarize what you found from the previous study, but rather to put them together and synthesize, synthesize. It will give all, I would say that, when you found something and you think that this is related to your study and you find something else from other sources and so on, at the end, always ask yourself, so what? So what? What are you going to do with this statement? What are you going to do with this past studies findings? That is the very important part. Always synthesize, evaluate, and ask yourself, so what? So if I can highlight here, literature is not a compilation of facts and feelings, but it is a coherent argument, argument that leads to the description of a proposed study. So you do something to support your study. Now that is the key things, you do something to support your study. So you have that, always having that. Bila tulis sesuatu tu, so what? You ask yourself, what does it mean? Why you need to include this? Why you don't have to include this? Everything will come with justification. Okay. So, well, based on that literature, basically for quantitative study in particular, you will be derive the conceptual framework, or some would call as we call it as research framework. Okay, conceptual framework or research framework. And this is important because you see that conceptual framework, it will identify what are the variables or factors, construct that are required in the research investigation. It is actually mapped, the researchers or the research plan. So that is basically what is the conceptual framework. I will share with you the sample of conceptual framework so that at least you have some idea how does it looks like and how does it relates to your to the research objective. So this is basically the 3 steps on how to conduct or develop conceptual framework. All right, this is taken by from one of the references here. And I put note here that hypothesis statements are not compulsory for ABP project. We're going to talk about it more in the coming slides because sometimes students are a bit confusing, whether they have to have hypothesis in their research or with research objective are sufficient, to lead them to the next process, the research process. So in applied research, we have 2 framework here. One is the conceptual framework. Where this coming from? How you're going to develop your conceptual framework? It requires your reading and your analysis of the previous study. That is the so-called as your literature, your literature. Okay. The academic construct, on the other hand, is something about the business model or tools that you want to use to help you to assess or get the data. So this is where it gives you one platform to utilize, to apply what you have learned not just from one particular course, but it could be from, different courses or across the programs, courses offered. This is where we're talking about business model or business tools like Swot Analysis, TOS Analysis, BCG Matrix, Porter's 5 Forces Model, and many more. And many more. Do you need to have more? More than one business tool? It all goes back to your research objective. Now, what we expect from you here is that your ability to integrate both. Both here means that to develop your conceptual framework, remember, this is taken from the previous studies, and to identify the business tool to be used to help you to fulfill your research objective. Now, your ability again to integrate both of these components are significant. So what going to help you here is your research objective. And that's the reason why your research objective must be clearly stated. Okay, so I always say to my students, research objective ni macam kereta, enjin kereta. If engine is not working, we are not going anywhere. So the same thing goes to research. Research objective must be clearly stated and developed at the first place. So I'm sharing here with you the sample, the sample or example of this conceptual framework and business tool, and the keyword here is integrating, integrating this conceptual framework and business tool or business model, and what you have here is then one big framework, the so-called as your academic construct. So just take a few seconds to go through this objective number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and this objective, it will be visualized in this form of the so-called as academic construct, or you may call it research framework. Okay, so this one is the current situation, number 1, number 1. So you use this for the a few seconds, ada ni sikit apa interruption je. Okay, so let me continue. So just now I shared with you the objective, the objective of the study. So when we set up the objective of the study, then the next question would be, first of course, what we want to study. That's the objective. And the next is, how do we achieve the objective? So this will require some what we call the structure or the mechanism, the methodology on how to get an answer or to fulfill the so-called as the developed research objective. So if you look here, this part is actually the so-called as SWOT analysis. It's there to help you to fulfill research objective number 1 based on this example. And this part is actually to help the researcher to answer the research objective number 2. And this part is the so-called as conceptual framework. Why? Because these are taken, these are the variables. So all in, there are 4 variables here: customer location, buying patterns, frequency of purchase, and channel intensity. These are all derived from the literature review. So this is what we mean by conceptual framework. And remember, at the first, we are talking about basic research and applied research. So this is where the basic research of the past studies will help you to identify what are the variables that you want to study. And this part is actually another business tool, and this is also another business tool. They are here to answer objective number 3 and objective number 4. So objective number 4 is very much about to help you to come up with the recommendation to the company. Right? So you already have the data, you analyze it, you interpret it. So what? You are now proposing what are the possible strategies that the company may consider. Yeah, so that is the idea of your final chapter on recommendation. So this is another example, the so-called as something about branding. Yeah, something about branding. So if you can look here, arrow in research framework is very important because it addresses the relationship between one components to another or one variables to another variables. For instance, these are the objective of the study. Now, RFE and EFE matrix is one of the business tools that is utilized in this study. TOES metric is another business tool. So in this case, the researcher integrate or use two business tools, two business model. And in the center, this is the so-called as your conceptual framework. Again, where you get this from? This is taken from the past study or the literature that have been reviewed by the researcher. So you see here what the students do or did at the first place is to carry out this RFE and EFE matrix. The input here will help them to go to conduct the so-called as or develop TOES matrix. From here, you will able to address the variables plus the literature that you have done. And at the end, all move to this TOES metric. What is so? This is the TOES metric. It's there. The content is to help you to identify the possible strategies to be recommended to the company. So that goes to question objective number 4. Okay, objective number 4. Now, what I can share with you here is that in most ABP project or ABP research, objective number 1 and objective number 4 is something that the student should have it. Yeah, so you may want to copy in the sense that the content, to perform a situational analysis of what is the company that you want to investigate or to focus on. To perform a situational analysis of AAGBS, example, to perform a situational analysis of Petronas Dagangan, example, to perform a situational analysis of whatever name of the company that you want to choose. Okay, and that's basically how are you going to achieve this objective? This is where you carry out the so-called as SWOT analysis and so on. And number 4, in some cases, it become objective number 3. This is what I would like also to highlight. Don't come up with so many research objectives. I would say 4 is the most. Usually it will just between 3 to 4 objective for ABP. Okay, so if let's say you have 3 objective number 4 ni akan jadi number 3 because macam mana pun, whatever it is, one of the objective of the ABP is to recommend possible strategies. So that would be like, so what tadi tu, This is the entire purpose of your project. Remember, if you have been appointed as the research consultant, while you've been paid to do or to carry out that research is actually to help the company finding what are the possible strategies. So the same thing goes here. It's just that you're not being paid by anyone, but this is for the learning process. So number 1 and number 4. Ini you boleh ambil je. Ambil maksud I, it will be more or less the same content, but it will be tailored to the company that you choose. The same thing goes to the recommendation. It depends on what is the purpose of your study. For instance, in this case, number 4 ni, yeah, to recommend measure that could enhance brand awareness. So we can see from the study, we can see that the issue here is about brand awareness. So at the end, why the researcher conducted this study is to help the company on how to enhance, increase the brand awareness for what brand. Yeah, so this is just the example. Yeah, you have to tailor that to your needs of the research. You don't take this 100% like word by word, yeah, but then it just to give you some idea how should your research objective looks like. Now, for those that doing the so-called as finance research, yeah, it might be a bit different because finance research usually involve the secondary data and hypotheses should be there. Yeah, you must test the hypothesis and so on. So your objective might be a bit different than those that going for non-finance or non-economics research. This is another example of framework, yeah, academic construct. More or less, it's you know, in the same structure. I would say here, for instance, if you look at objective number 1, this is another way to put objective number 1. Okay, you boleh spell out one by one what are the SWOT analysis. And also you can see here, number 4 is always about to recommend strategies. So this is SWOT analysis. Why it's here? That is to answer objective number 1. And in the middle, you have this, the conceptual framework. Why they are here? Because objective number 2 and number 3. And number 4, TOOS metric is to help you to identify or to develop the recommended strategy to whom? To the company, the so-called as your client. Okay, so that's another example. Now, methodology is very much about how you're going to carry out the research. It's all about how you, not just to carry out, but also how to analyze your data. And every single things that you do, you must justify because there are so many ways to conduct the research. Now, if you choose method A instead of method B and C, why is so? So you just justify your decision. Now you are building that argument skill, the so-called as critical thinking or decision-making skill. Yeah, for the entire research. It's all about justification, rationale. Yeah, we do something because dia ada jawapan. What is it? Why you do so? Yeah, and that's actually what we are interested to hear from you or to read, yeah, from your report. So this is one of the objective of the course. And moving on, so this is your chapter number 4, yeah, the 4th chapter. That's about data analysis and findings. The key contents of this chapter is the first one, of course, what are the findings of the study. So you run data analysis, you will get the findings. So those that having the secondary data, of course, you also need to analyze the data. So what are the findings of your study of 10 years data of Bank Negara on investment and so on. Yeah, so it must be again some analysis. Yeah, you run the analysis, and after that you get the results. And what you need to do here is to report the results. Yeah, to report what you found. Yeah, what you found of what of the data that you analyze. And what do they mean? Yeah, what does it mean? Siapa ni? The data, the findings that you found. So you need to interpret, yeah, what does it mean here? So those that going for quantitative, you may want to run example, factor analysis, t-test, f-test, regression analysis. I think to run the data analysis is not that difficult, but to interpret is something which is quite challenging. So what you need to do here is to try to understand first, this data analysis technique is for what? Should I use it? What are the requirements? What kind of data it should be? because this would actually help you at the first place to design your questionnaire. Because the data will come from your questionnaire, those that using survey, survey methods. So before you distribute your questionnaire, you already taken into consideration how are you going to analyze the data, what techniques you want to use, because there are many types of data and not all data can be used to, to apply any techniques. No, there are requirements. So pay attention to this kind of things. And of the knowledge that you have, the one that you analyze the data and so on, you will be able to interpret what does it mean. Apa data you tu maksudnya apa? If it is significant, what does that significant means? If it's not significant, let's say you have run the analysis, what does it mean? Interpret that. If a number or the so-called as the figure, the results is a bit higher, what does it mean? And another is a bit lower, what does it mean? So you give the interpretation to your data. We expect the student would be able to do so, because at the master level, you have to have that interpretations, ability to interpret your data. Tak kira lah primary data or secondary data. And this is, I would say some, not to say issue, but question to some students in terms of the use of inferential analysis, inferential analysis. So at the first place, ask yourself whether do you need to do this kind of inferential analysis to answer your research objective? If yes, then what will be the focus of this analysis? If not, then why don't you, or should you use it? You don't need that, so perlu buat ke, So we are interested and looking for to see that our students know what they do, what they do. So to me, it's not about how complicated the data analysis technique that you used, but the most important thing is that first, you choose the data analysis technique that is suitable, appropriate to your research objective. Itu yang pertama. The second one, you know what does it mean, of the findings, your ability to interpret the findings. Example here, we have factor analysis. It is one of data analysis technique, factor analysis. So the example here, examiners, supervisors are interested to know, can the student explain what they are doing? Or if you use regression, for instance, can you interpret the findings of that regression? Okay, so these are the things that we want to know. We want to know how far that you learn from this. Your ability, your ability to interpret the data. And moving on, I go to this so-called as hypothesis testing and applied research. Question mark, do you have to have hypothesis development at the first place? Now, if let's say the answer is yes, meaning to say you want to go for hypothesis so that you have to identify how will I test the hypothesis that I developed for this study. So it goes back to the data analysis technique. What technique that you want to use? Now you must relate this to your research objective and then must be tested using appropriate statistical analysis, and at the end the analysis must state whether accept or reject the hypothesis. If it is not necessary, then you don't have to develop hypothesis, but research questions would be sufficient to guide you, to guide the whole writing and interpretations of the flow, the flow or the structure of the writing. Okay, so I would like to re-highlight here for ABP, applied business research, hypothesis is not compulsory. Okay, you can use research questions and of course research objective to guide your study and to guide how you form the structure of your report. But should you feel like we want to go for hypothesis, then state it properly from the beginning till the end. How do you develop your hypothesis? What are the hypotheses? How do you test the hypothesis? What are the results of the hypothesis? What does it mean? Okay, so you just do it properly. That's all. Yeah, that's all. Now I come to the final one, chapter 5, that is your conclusion and recommendation. The key point here is that what you need to do is what can you conclude from your study? Now relate this back to your problem statement, the research problem statement and objective. The next question, remember objective number 3 or number 4. Your final research objective is about recommendation. So it's about what recommendation can you make based on the findings and conclusion of the study. And how feasible this recommendation to the company, not to you, but to the company, because ABP is the company setting or the industry-based research. Yeah, how feasible? This is where, at the first place, you have carried out the SWOT analysis of the company, so you know what are their strengths and weaknesses, the opportunity and threats that they face. So when you carry out the research, what you call the survey, for instance, or interview session of the key informant, you get the data, you analyze it, and you go back to the objective of the study. Now you are giving meaning to your findings and you identify what are the recommendations to the company. So always bear in mind, always have this in your mind, is this recommendation feasible to the company to be carried out? Question mark. You will have this answer because you have done, again, the SWOT analysis of the company. Yeah, you have the information about the positive, the good thing, and not so good thing about, you know, the industry that they belong to and so on. So what we want to see here again is about justification. Yeah, justify what you do, justify it. And I think I also would like to address here in terms of recommendation. We don't expect to have a long list of recommendations. It could be just 2 or 3 recommendations, but that recommendations are feasible and justifiable. That is the one that carry the quality of your project. Yeah, not a long list of recommendation. It has to be something which is possible for the company to do. Okay. So this is the evaluation. Yeah, I don't go the detail of it. Yeah, Dr. Firdaus have mentioned about it. Now I would like to move a bit to the so-called as role of advisor. Role of advisor, as you can see here, advisor is someone that will help you to identify blind spots. Yeah, blind spots, and also to facilitate students to think out of the box. At the same time, to provide a platform for the process of thinking, and our task is to facilitate that particular process. So you are the one that initiate the study to design and to plan, design and implement the study. Your advisor are there to help you to strengthen your study, or sometimes if you are moving a bit divert, your advisor will pull you back, and well, usually we will always say to you what are the objective of your study. Now you're moving a bit far from your objective, so come back. This is actually the purpose of your study. That's the reason why research objective is very important. Yeah, it's very important. So also we will help, the advisor will help to guide you in terms of interpretation of data. You will interpret the data, but your advisor may give you some advice. But of course, we want to see here the effort from you. You inform, always communicate with your supervisor, telling them, updating them your progress. Sometimes you may not quite sure whether this is fine or not. I think it will be in a good discussion or communication if you are able to produce something for that discussion rather than just asking, is this okay to do this? Is it all right if we choose this? Without any justification. So as the advisor, I myself may not feel happy to come to that kind of question because at the first place, I want to see your effort, as a researcher. What have you done? What you have, you have put your very best. But of course, there are something that you may not be very clear. So this is where we come to the intellectual discussion. And we are there again to help you, to identify blind spot, to help you to think out of the box, to give constructive criticisms on your output and so on. Okay, so that's basically the role of advisor. So now it's 11:10. I think can we open to Q&A if there are any questions about ABP? It's open to both at proposal stage as well as the final stage of the proposal.
Doctor,
Yes.
I have a question. For the choice of the company, is it has to be the same with the BRM?
Sorry, say it again about the company.
For the company that I want to choose for this project, you said just now that this subject is somewhere related to BRM, right? So for the choice of the company that I want to choose, is it has to be the same with BRM or I can choose another company?
Okay, right. Okay, good question. This is what I said just now. Ideally, ideally, and also to save time, it's good for you to work the BRM project at the same time. That's also would be your ABP, ABP project. So it's like 2-in-1 or 3-in-1, 3-in-1. So if let's say you are talking about the same project, then it will be the same company. But if let's say later there are some issue and so on, then if you have to go to another company, then you have to. But what more important here is from 701, at least you already get the whole idea about what does it mean by research, how does it work, what is research methodology and so on. So ideally, the answer is ideally you go to the same company. Is it clear?
Yes, doctor. I have another question. Okay, let's say that I choose SME company for BRM, but then when I want to do the research punya subject ni, the information that I want to get from the BRM company that I choose is not quite enough. So if I want to jump to another company, can?
Not quite enough. What do you mean?
I mean the information that or let's say that the topic that I want to do for this subject is more likely for more to HRM punya issue. But then for the BRM, I'm doing the marketing issue. So I think for SME company that I choose is quite small. So I think that the information that I want to get is not too many. So can I choose another company that big company that I want, some big company?
Yeah, you are free to do so. We are just suggesting to you ideally your BRM and ABP is the same project. Ideally, ideally. That is the word lah that I can use here. But let's say you feel like no, you're going to go for something else, go ahead. But at least you already know how to do research. How to do research. You gain the knowledge, you gain the skill. So I would say here, giving any kind of company, you should not have any issue lah on how to do the research because you learn how to do a research through BRM 701. Yeah. So it's up to you, and of course this should be the so-called as group decision. Itu satu very important group decision because your ABP project is group work. Dia bukan individual, it's group work. So bila group work ni, all the 3 members katakan ada tiga, kalau dua lah, all of you should agree lah on what you want to do. Yeah, what you want to do, which company you want to approach, and all those things. So as long as you get the consensus for that, I think it shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, it's just that you will find that time goes very fast. Yeah, time goes very fast. So manage your time well in the sense that a number of things, yeah, because research involves process or stages, yeah, stages of works or activities. So as long as you can manage that, I think it shouldn't be any issue. Yeah. And whatever your decision tu, buat awal lah, ya, keputusan yang awal. Sebab lagi lama, it might drag you lah a bit. Okay, yeah.
Alright, thank you, Doctor.
So yeah, so you just have a discussion. If I can add a bit, tadi ada students tanya ya, one of you asked about grouping tadi tu. This is actually one of the reason lah. Bila you already be with the team, at the same time, these are the team for your ABP. So ideally, yeah, again, I like to use that word ideally, not necessarily. Sometimes ada cases yang that student have to join as a group for ABP. So just go on with that, yeah, if this is all agreed among the team members and of course their supervisor. Okay. Ada question tadi, siapa yang kat tanya?
Assalamualaikum Doktor.
Waalaikumsalam.
So saya Irma Rahfan Ibrahim. So basically I would like to ask question on the company selection. So basically one of my intention in pursuing my MBA is knowledge and also contribute back to the nation as well as society. So back to my question, company selection. So currently in my what I think is there's two types of company that I've been thinking for. One is a normal a large company where we can get data easily, but another one is a small micro SME company which consider startup. So the challenge if I select this small micro SME company, so the data or the data collection as well as participation from the company itself might be not as supportive as big large organization because of limited resources. And for example, you say that I might ask data from the supplier, supply chain, or anyone related to the company, but it's quite big challenging because the company itself is very small. But the good things is if I manage to complete the research, so the research proposal or any recommendation might be very helpful, especially AAGBS itself can contribute back to the society. For example, if they use whatever recommendation inside the research proposals, so it contribute back to the growth of the company or anything that they want to improve, that will be very, very good. But it will be very challenging. So I would like to ask your opinion. Is good for us to take the challenge, developing these small companies, contribute back to the nation and society, or we just take a normal company where we can get data easily, but we just complete our study. So can I get your opinion on this?
Okay, opinion, yeah. First thing first is either we talk about small, big, medium company, size company, yeah. Every single thing would have their own, challenges, yeah, challenges to complete the study. And the interesting part, yeah, every of it would have this interesting part as well as the challenges. So of course, there are some at the same time pro and cons. I would say that everything goes back to your accessibility of the data and of course your interest, yeah. Because if you talk about company A, the issue might be different than company B or company C. You get it? Yeah. It could be belong to the same area of study or different area of study, but again, they may face different problems, different issues, and so on. So I would say that both are durable. Yeah, both are durable. Decisions making is all back to you and your supervisor cuma advise, yeah, tapi you make the decision whether to go for it or not. And talking about contribution, I would say here when we talk about ABP, it is very context specific. Yeah, context specific means that it's like case study. Yeah, we're talking about one company, and then how that your research study too would help them to identify or implement the possible solutions to the issue that they faced. Yeah, well, we cannot force the company to do this, do that, and so on. Definitely not, because we are the consultant. You get the point here? Yeah, we are the consultant. What we identify are the some possible or propose appropriate strategies. It all goes back to the company whether they want to implement it or not. But of course, through the process, you are learning something out of it. That's also the reason why, if I can link a bit to chapter 5 on the recommendation, to all of you, when you write recommendation, avoid any word like should. The company should do this. Who are we to say should to the company? No, yeah. But you will put something like it is recommended to the company to number 1, number 2, and number 3. That's basically how you put forward your recommendation. Yeah. So we don't use the word should. We don't use the word must. We don't use the word have to. No. Yeah. It doesn't work that way. So coming back to your question just now, both have pros and cons. It goes back to what are the problems that you want to investigate, and also the accessibility of the data. That's also play important roles. And the most important thing is that your research need data, and this data will come from who? Who are your target respondents? Is it customer to this company, to the brand that they market? Or are the employees of the company, or the supplier to the company? Whom? And this is what we mean data accessibility plus some information about the company. Yeah. So think about it. Think about it. Who are the target respondent? Kalau you nak interview, siapa yang you nak interview? Will you be able to get access to this interviewee, what you call, their consent and so on? If your target respondent are customers, then how are you going to go about? And we're talking about customer. Are these existing customers? So how are you going to contact them? Are these potential customers? It can be anyone as long as it fulfills the characteristics of your respondents. That should be okay. Yeah. So think about it. The research problem statement you want to investigate, the objective of the study, and the respondents, their target participant or respondent of your study. Okay, yeah. So as long as it is a real company, it shouldn't be any issue, whether it's big or not. Unless we talk about something which is really small, yeah. Yang tu mungkin you have to think about lah. Really small tu, you go back to the definition of SME, ya. Micro company ni macam mana? Kalau too small, yang we're talking about significance of the study. So you may have twice, relook into this, yeah. It has to be real organization here. Am I answering your question, Irmi?
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Boleh ya?
I'll think about it.
Thank you. All right. So
Okay.
good to see that you have that justification. It's just that yang mana satu kan? So think about it. Maksudnya not just to do the research, but something for you to learn, yeah, throughout the process, and something that would help you to come to the completion of the project. Okay. Are there any other questions, perhaps?
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Siti.
Waalaikumsalam.
Dr. Siti, just now on the earlier presentation mentioned that we need to input the supervisor name when we fill out the form. And it depends also whether the supervisor available or not. If we select or we choose the supervisor. So if we already have we approach the supervisor to be as our supervisor, will the academic accept or approve?
Okay. Again, to answer this, I would like to record what Dr. Wahida said. You can propose, you can propose or you can nominate the supervisor, but the final decision is made by the research advisory committee. So there are possibilities that you will get the supervisor that you have proposed, and there is also possibility that you will get someone else. Okay, yeah, so that is the answer.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Right, okay, welcome. Laju sangat ke I bercakap? Boleh ikut tak?
Dr. Siti,
Ya, ya.
there is a question in the chat box.
Okay.
Okay, Doctor, where can we get a list of lecturers and the field that are available to become our supervisor?
Okay, alright. So one way is through the website of AAGBS. Okay, masuk website AAGBS, you will see under, boleh kita share ke Dr. Firdaus? Boleh buka website AAGBS ke tak?
Sure, sekejap ya.
You go to academic, the faculty members. So from there you can see our faculty members, I mean the lecturers, because in the website we list here the name of the lecturers according to their discipline. Okay, sekejap kita tunggu Dr. Firdaus can share. Okay, Dr. Firdaus cuba klik satu. Ini contohlah, contoh maksud I by discipline ya. So let's go for management lecturer first ya. Okay, this is the available. I mean the our current lecturers ya. Availability ni subject to a number of things, including the number of the supervision that the lecturer already have. Okay, so also to answer the previous question, sometimes the name of your advisor tu dah belong to the field ya, dalam bidang. However, he or she has a number of what we call existing students, whether at the proposal level yang perhaps as students also may go for it, and the existing tu yang second stage ya, the second stage 792. So a number of things that the research advisory committee will look into. Okay, so this is just example ya, Dr. Firdaus ya, kita klik, Dr. Firdaus klik tadi tu under management. So if let's say your study is something about or belong to management area, mungkin tak ada lagi specific topik ya, tapi at least you know what you want to do. Your study ni tentang apa ya, you can come up with the title, yeah, the proposed title of the study. So from there, you just have a look into our website. You see siapa yang potential lah, ya, supervisor. You may want to nominate them, yeah, but whether you will get them or not, again, it's subject to the approval of the RAC, Research Advisory Committee. Okay, so if let's say you're interested in economics, then you click lah under economics, ada 3 lecturers here. At least we have 3 lecturers under economics, 1 professor and 2 senior lecturer. Mana lagi? Islamic banking. So you just click Islamic banking, ya, finance, marketing. Paling ramai management lah, sebab management is very broad. So there are many things. Is it helpful? Yang bertanya tadi, boleh ya? Okay, alright. So explore lah ya, explore. Maybe sekarang you semester 2, you may only know the lecturers that teaching you. Yang lain you tak kenal sebab tak mengajar kan. So that just explore our website. So from there you can see the faces as well as their CV. So you just click lah their CV to know more about them. And satu lagi apa yang nak sebut before I terlupa. Okay, tadi ada one question about someone would like to do something or interest in something about engineering, engineering. So now if we talk about applied business research, namanya applied business research or applied business project. So you have to have whatever topic that you choose, it must have some business management elements. Okay, it can be something about engineering, tapi how does it relates to supplier context or vendor contact, for instance? This is actually already have component of business. Or how does it relates to the final consumers? That is where you inject the so-called as business content, yeah, or the what we call application, yeah, because actually when we talk about company, it's all about business, but how do we make things that sounds technical kepada business orientation? This is where you akan use what you have learned and so on, and of course with the guide from your supervisor at the same time. Okay.
Doctor,
Yes.
sorry, my Jamia, I asked a question just now to the Prof. Wahida. Actually, it's not an engineering as per se, because there is an issue, and actually I have been discussing with them on certain project. Actually, that is my own company project lah. So the issue is that there is it's not a conflict, but there is something like there is a barrier between management and engineering, and how to create an harmony between these two to propel a company to a bigger scale. Sebagai contoh, a satellite. So one angle that being brought up by the professor from engineering school is that that is a problem where he mooted value engineering, where a non-PhD, non-engineering background student can learn value engineering with them in developing a project with them lah. So that is where the angle. So what you have mentioned just now is 100% correct, which is that is the angle that they are looking at actually. So that's why maybe my explanation is not broad enough. So there's some confusion, but yes, you are right. I'm because why I wanted to do this because the industry is very new in Malaysia, because the law has just been approved earlier this year, so that this is where to enhance because engineering in terms of satellite, UiTM had launched 2 satellites by themselves, so it's a good and I should be proud of. So, but the angle of management is that how we could manage this thing in terms of creating awareness and creating marketing, but it's the best tool that we want to use, and then how do we engage with the customers and so on. And there are many new areas of business that we can do. Among others is in what we call aggregations of microgravity payload, which can be conducted by the management school rather than from the, because usually they know how to do engineering part, but they do not know how to create and promote this part, because there will be another 2 or 3 angles. So that is the area, and you are right, Dr. Siti, you are correct 100%. And it actually what you had explained just now really opened my option on how to go about this project on the ABP. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Jamil, for sharing more details, about your proposed project. I can see that there are a number of areas involved there, so you can choose one of the specific area that you want to work on. Could be on strategic management, could be on marketing, could be on the business innovation. There are a number of things. So you just take that, from which perspective that you want to focus on. Always think about who are actually would be the one that will provide the data to you, provide the data to you in addition to the company. Company, again, as I said, is the information about the company, but then your objective, siapa yang ada jawapan to your objective, so this is where whether you're talking about your clients, the target customers, or kalau internal tu dia macam lebih kepada, of course lah, management and employees. in some cases it's quite sensitive as well. So you tengok accessibility in the sense that there are things which are quite confidential, yeah, that the company may not happy to share that with us, including to the students, yeah. Even kita mungkin ada access, for instance, if you work with the company or it's your company, but still there are some part that I don't think the company would be happy to what I call share that with others. So go for something that Jamil, I think you got the idea of what you want to do, just to choose one area, yeah, one
Yes.
specific area, and move on of that. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Doctor, I have a question.
All right, Iman.
Okay, I'm looking at the AAGBS website, and there will be an opening for exchange student for next summer. So, if I were to apply this program, does this affect my proposal, my project?
All right, Iman. It will not affect, yeah, the structure of your study plan. It's just that you and your team members, usually those that go, I'm sharing the current practice lah, if I can say so, of those that going for dual degree program, in particular to German lah, yeah, the Stuttgart University. Usually, Iman, let's say you want to go, and you have another one person that also going. So it is advisable for two of you to be in a team. That one option, yeah, that's one option. So dekat sana nanti adalah another code, tapi at the same time you do that for AAGBS MBA. Because dua degree program ni kita dah buat course mapping, ya, sebelum we can run or offer the program. So everything's are already in the structure. Not to worry about that one. But in terms of members, team members, option yang pertama tadi, because usually those that go to German, one semester is like 5 to 6 students, yeah, more or less. So you try to find someone, you will get to know, yeah, siapa yang also later apply for the same program. You may work together as under one team. And another option is that there are also students yang they are already set up team in AAGBS, let's say 3 members, tapi yang pergi seorang saja Jerman. So you can still be with the team that you already in, but your communication with the team and the supervisor, of course, will all be online. Yeah, so there is no constraint lah, yeah, or shouldn't be any barrier for you to remain with the team and the supervisor. It's just that in terms of communication, make sure you always communicate with your team members and your supervisor through Google Meet, Zoom, whatsoever, email, and so on. And Iman, if I'm not mistaken, in German, you will also have another one supervisor from German, the Stuttgart University. Yeah?
All right, thank you, Doctor.
Okay. Because Iman, just to re-highlight here, in German, the project, this research project, yeah, they don't call it ABP lah. Of course, code dia berbeza, tapi dah buat cross matching, mapping, yeah. In German, the research is individual project. Dia bukan team, dia seorang, individual, yeah. Nah, itu one of the perbezaan lah. So Iman, to know more detail about this arrangement of the dual degree program, I would strongly suggest you to contact Dr. Arlina, the Deputy Dean of Internationalizations and Industry Network. Yeah, Iman?
All right, thank you, Doctor.
Right, so that she would be able to share with you lah the structure of the program and so on. At least you already, prepare lah should you want to go for it. Thank you.
So I have a question. I'm Rizalman here. You mentioned just now about BRM, Business Research Application module. It sounded to me from my limited understanding. It sounded to me BRM is important for us to accomplish ABP, right? And then for some of us, BRM will only come in later. It will be in module 2 or even module 3. for this semester. And I recall, if I can recall correctly, Dr. Firdaus shared the timeline for our submission, proposal, and things like that. So my question would be, how important or how crucial is BRM towards us accomplishing ABP punya deliverables and program? And if it does, what can we do about it in order to mitigate any downside from not, taking BRM earlier?
Your last question, sorry, what can we do to
overcome the downside of not taking BRM earlier?
Without taking BRM earlier, meaning to say you are taking it at the same semester, do you?
We are taking same semester, yes. But some of us will be taking in module 2 or module 3. And module 3, for example, will run into February.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So
right.
I mean,
I got your question.
It seems to me that doesn't jive well with the timeline that Dr. Firdaus presented earlier. So the concern is whether that will implicate or sway our progress toward doing our ABP.
All right. So Riza, thank you for the question. Yes, each of you will have your own what you call class schedule, for BRM 701. Full-time evening track, EMBA, so EMBA, your classes all run by modular system, maksudnya satu bulan satu module. So if it so happen you got this BRM 701 module 2 or module 3, for instance, I would say not to worry about it in the sense that when you take this year, ABP 791 is the whole semester. Okay, you got it, ABP 791. Deadline of the submission of the proposal is at the end of the semester. So if let's say, you take BRM 701 module 2 contohnya, module 2. So in the beginning, of course lah, you either you take BRM or not yet, you have to do lah your own study on what is research and so on through the reading. There are many resources available online, in particular, through Google. You can have some knowledge lah, on this one. When you move to BRM 701, I foresee that this would further help you to strengthen your proposed study. Maybe when you already come to 701 BRM, you see that, what you proposed before is something that may not work well. So this is where you're going to refine or to revise a bit about your plan. Okay. And BRM 701 is coursework, maksudnya ada classes, ada assessment, and you are given one, you will have one lecturer. So you work with the lecturer for 701. For ABP 792, the supervisor will be assigned to you according to the deadline that we have communicate with you. Dr. Firdaus has highlighted just now. So you can already start to work with your supervisor. Don't wait until you dalam 701 baru you nak jumpa supervisor. No, it doesn't work that way. Advisor tu, the moment he or she been appointed, you can already contact your supervisor. So, of course, 701 is very important, and for full-time student, perhaps there shouldn't be any what we call issues in the sense that bila it's offered and so on, because semua benda berjalan serentak sekali. But for modular, this is where again, ada cases yang 701, we try our best to take it or to offer it as module 1, but there are situations where we have to offer that as module 2 or module 3, due to a number of factors lah, including the it's very much about loading process. Loading, I mean lecturer punya assignment to different codes and their availability tu kita kena avoid whatever clash. Kalau Dr. Firdaus yang mengajar, dia tak boleh lah modul bulan yang sama at the same time dia ada another module. No, it shouldn't be that way. So this is where one of the reason why it happens ada kelas yang semester yang BRM 701 is not offered at or during first semester. So I hope that this not being a constraint to you to move forward, because tadilah you have your supervisor and always give the best lah in terms of self-directed, if I can put that way. Cari information, knowledge through a different sources. I hope I'm answering your question. We are sorry if it's not meeting your expectation in terms of the offer of the BRM 701 for that particular or this particular semester. But don't take that as constraint. Itu satulah I nak just gently remind you lah, it's not a constraint. One more thing to all of you, when we talk about 701, the BRM class, and ABP 791, the proposal stage. Just now I already mentioned, BRM you are with your lecturer, and ABP you are with your supervisor. Ideally, the project that you're working, ideally, again, I'm using the word ideally, should be just the same. The same project is all about to help you complete your project. Now, should there is any circumstances where your BRM lecturer may give her feedback on your progress like this, your supervisor may say something else. So benda tu, you yourself as the researcher, you take the constructive comment at the end how to help you to improve the project. It shouldn't be sort of like to create conflict and so on. Itu biasa kita ada perbezaan pendapat. Your supervisor may look it from this stand of point of view. Your lecturer mungkin look this from this part. So you take the best of this untuk again to make your project of high quality. Okay, so tak perlu argue kalau lecturer cakap macam ni, supervisor I said like this, no, you don't have to argue. Take that opinion, take that feedback. You yang akan process the feedback in the sense that kat mana nak guna this feedback, how it will be useful to you. So also take notes, BRM 701 you are with the lecturer, so markah akan diberi oleh pesyarah 701. Okay, satu ABP 791 you are with your supervisor. Markah 100% tu duduk dengan supervisor. So kat situ you kena balancekan lah macam mana to make sure that what is given, the feedback given are taken into consideration, the correction that need to be made have been made and so on. So take this positively. Maksudnya sekarang you sort of like ada two persons that giving you the opinion. I'm talking about if you work on the same project. Okay, so I hope that would give you some some ideas lah perhaps on how to work for this 701 as well as ABP. Okay. Ada lagi ke soalan lain? Now it's 11:47. Maybe we can take one more question, and after that we come to the closing. Fazliana. Yes,
Just to get more clear in about the BRM and ABP. So meaning that in BRM that it doesn't mean that we need to keep under one group, same group as the ABP, right? Because sometimes the group we choose for ABP is different, like the BRM, different class, different, different people. So macam like you say, ideally it's supposed to be same topic, so it's easy to track until the ABP. But if let's say under BRM we choose another topic with another group, so it's just a guideline for us to go to the ABP, right? Just to get the understanding on that.
Yes, Fazina, exactly. Exactly. So what you say is correct. Ideally. But then it's actually not stop you to work with different group or different project if let's say you decide to do so. Fazina. So it's all back to you as the students. How you going to arrange lah for this particular two courses.
Thanks,
Okay, Fazlina, boleh Right. Okay.
No more?
Yeah, Dr. Firdaus, I
Yeah.
think that's all from me. So I would like to say thank you very much to all the students for your participants again in Shah Alam and also outside Shah Alam. So I wish you all the best. Remember only one thing, masa berjalan sangat pantas. Yeah, so start working from day one. Yeah, from now, start working on your project. In particular, research require, of course, proper planning. Yeah, proper planning. Tadi Dr. Firdaus have shared all the importance deadline. As a student, tolong simpan all this calendar of ABP that we shared or will be shared with all of you so that you know when is due, what to submit and so on. This is actually to get you prepared, yeah? Especially to go for Viva session because Viva definitely require full preparation untuk dua benda. Satu, report submission. Second, for the Viva session. Yeah, so we wish you all the best. Yeah, anything you can contact us, yeah, at the academic unit. Thank you. Dr. Firdaus, back to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Siti Zaliha, Team Malandekan Academic. So, Alhamdulillah, we just completed our briefing session today. Yeah, info pack, schedule briefing, ethics procedure briefing, as well as Dr. Izaliha just completed a presentation on the ABP 791 and 792, and we hope that it is a fruitful session and knowledge sharing, inshallah. And don't forget, please fill in the form, the attendance form, posted by Puan Asia, in the chat box. And inshallah, in terms of the info pack, I would upload on our Telegram group as soon as possible, inshallah. So without further ado, we end our session today with tasbih kafarah and surah As. Subhanallah. Okay, with that, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Thank you, Dr. Firdaus.
Waalaikumsalam.
Doctor.
Sama-sama ya. Baik.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, Dr. Siti, Dr. Firdaus. Thank you so much.
Ya, sama-sama semua.